Good evening. Good evening. I'm hoping my light is okay. Can you see me okay? Hi. Welcome to Storytelling with Una. I look a bit dark. The light's a bit dark. I'll just sit here until someone turns up. And even if they don't, I'll just talk to myself. I'll pretend someone's there. The sound in the back. Oh, we have two people. Say hi. Hi, Laurie. The sound in the background are the fireworks. So I'm conscious it's Saturday evening. I hope I have my light on. I'm not too sure I'm bright enough. Is that better? Maybe I do it there. Don't wanna, is that worse? Whoops. I had this all set up and ready. Let me see if I can get, Laurie, what's the light like? Is it okay? Is it too dark? It looks dark to me. I just can't tell. Well, welcome to Storytelling with Una. This is my second. If you're here, say hi, please. It's been a month since I've been on. And the purpose of this group, it's just for me to tell a story. To tell you a story. I have been sharing stories for a while now. This idea is working towards my book, my Humanitarian diaries. I kept journals when I lived away across a couple of continents. I think. And how are you? It's a friend of mine from Iraq. So I'm starting to share them. So I'll start now. It's only about maybe 30 minutes, half an hour, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. If you have a question, you can certainly ask me it as I speak. I just want to show this. This was, I think I did a live a couple of days ago. This was launched on Tuesday. The reason why I'm showing this is because, hi Nana, how are you? And I hope you're having a nice warm cup of coffee. I'm showing this because I went to a castle last October. And the reason why I went, one of the main reasons I went, was for an authorship afternoon with the publisher and the author Karen McDermott to talk about my journals. Because books don't, unless you don't maybe have a job or whatnot, books don't just happen very quickly. So this has been a journey ongoing, and in the chapter of my book, before I realised my mouth had said, I'm going to write my book. So this is part of it. So I'm going to start. Hi Larry, thanks for coming. I'm going to start. I'm still in Afghanistan, so if anybody who hasn't really been watching what I'm doing, I'm an international humanitarian, and I worked across 2 continents, Asia and Africa, for 5 years as a nutritionist, and I kept diaries each day in order to deal with and process what I saw. My messages are very positive, are very upbeat, and it's trying to shift the perception. Hi Uncle Tony, hi TK. Shift the perception as what these countries are. I mean, in Afghanistan, you might think of something automatic. What I want to do is, help you think of the music, the people, the culture, the food. So my second story, I am still in Afghanistan, and it's my day off, and I typed up my journals. I have them here typed up, and I'm just going to read the story, and if you have any questions, ask, and if not, we'll be over quite quickly. So Friday 14th of June. I'm up nice and early as myself and others are going on a picnic with the World Food Programme outside Mazar, a road trip. The trip is 1.5 hours long on a very rough and windy road. At one stage, there is no road, and as we are travelling in a 2-car convoy, the tracks the first 4x4 make, the second car follows. This is also required as there are landmines all over the country. It is just like following footsteps in a field. Where the car has gone before is safe. We drive through the most fascinating scenery, rock formations across hills and around valleys. I'm supposed to be taking today easy as I'm still not feeling 100%. But there is no mission I can sleep in this car as it is moving too much. These are rocky roads, so you're like this. It's quite hard in the neck as well, actually. And to be honest, any opportunities that come across my path, as long as security is okay, naturally, I go. I may never be back in Afghanistan, and I don't want to have any regrets. Where we are going, it turns out there are local men dancing. So that is why the journey takes so long. We just had to sit and wait in the car and watch. Hey, yeah, my friend from Iraq. Sit and watch as the men danced, as there is no way we were going to disturb this celebration. It is a really hot day, mid-40s, so we find some shade for a picnic hamper. There is a bonus. As close to where we are going, there is a lake. The most beautiful, calm lake I've ever seen. The water looks like glass. It is like a picture. The sky is blue with no clouds. The mountain range is dark green, and the tall grass around the lake is another shade of green, which makes it look so inviting. This would be a great place to cool off. Off we all go before lunch to have a dip in the water. I don't have anything to change into, and I most definitely wouldn't be wearing a swimming costume anyway. So in I go, fully clothed like everyone else. Hi Linda, how you doing? Hi, yeah, my brother. Where was I? In I go into, fully clothed like everyone else. The sun is that strong today, my clothes will dry in very quickly after. I'm wearing a short sleeve cotton t-shirt and long cotton trousers which are now skin tight. Not a very culturally sensitive look I want, especially as some random men appear from nowhere and sit on the banks of the river and watch us all swim. This certainly is a sight to see and hear, as there are so many of us laughing and chatting without a care in the world at this moment in time. The water is just gorgeous, so cool and so relaxing. I lie on my back and honestly forget where I am. It is like I'm back home in a lake in Ireland on a really, really good day. I swim out a bit, maybe a third of the way across, and tread water and chat with my friends who join me. Now, I wouldn't be a very strong swimmer, but I am confident in the water and can swim for long periods of time. It's absolutely amazing. I'm just lying there, not a care in the world. When all of a sudden the chat turns to water snakes, old war helicopters, and possible bombs at the bottom of the lake, and Jarda, hi Linda, and my tranquil place is destroyed immediately. Jarda is a I believe, not a virus, a bacteria. It affects your intestinal system. It's actually very, very bad because I've had it before. So my tranquility is destroyed immediately. I feel quite strange now, and all of a sudden my clothes seem very, very heavy, and I lose my ability to swim well. All I want to do now is to leave the lake, but my body isn't working right, and I'm starting to really panic. I notice the sun beating down and it is hurting my eyes. In my head, I believe I'm surrounded by snakes under the water, and I wouldn't say I'm a snake fan. And then thinking of the water that I accidentally swallowed earlier will make me really, really sick. I will get giardia. So I'm actually really, really frightened at the moment. I slowly start to make the way back to the bank. Sorry, I've lost my place. I slowly start to make my way back to the bank, but I'm going nowhere fast, and no one notices me, which makes it worse. Thankfully, my friend M spots the panic in my face and my change of colour, and he comes to help me. As soon as he grabs my body, just stops swimming, and I become even heavier for him, but he's a big man, and he's okay with me. He helps me out of the water, through the tall grass, where I'm really scared of the snakes. I hear noises, and of course I think it's snakes. He senses I'm scared and moves me as quickly as he can. I now have to deal with something else. The tightness of my clothes, which is not what I have ever worn in Afghanistan. I use a scarf which I left on the bank to cover my female figure, leaving my hair exposed, but I feel more comfortable doing that than covering my hair. The others slowly come out of the lake too, as we have lunch to get. I so give my friend a hard time for mentioning the snakes. I walk up the bank to the picnic, and my clothes have already started to dry. I walk up under the shade and sit on the ground on top of a mat, which happens to be beside some vines. Local men are there too, with a drum and a keyboard, and the music is fantastic. There's also dancing, which I have a go at. Again, an opportunity not to miss. Lunch is fantastic. I'm feeling very relaxed, and it definitely feels like a weekend. out of nowhere comes a single horseman towards our group. Some of us are curious, so we go off to see him. Through hand gestures, my friend and I establish he's offering us a horseback ride, a bareback ride. This is an opportunity I did miss out on. I've only been on a horse once, which wasn't a great experience, so I'm taking no chances. I don't want anything to happen, as I wasn't too sure if anything did happen, I would be insured. Hi Frank, how are you? I mean, how Western and structured is that thought? But still, I didn't do it. My friend C does it and rides off across the hills into the distance with a complete stranger. I have to say it does look absolutely amazing, very freeing, but it is still a no from me. What an afternoon. Action-packed, swimming, panicking, dancing, food and music. We leave around 3:30 as it takes some time to get back. And I do something I thought I could not do. I fall asleep. My body just let go and I managed to fall asleep while being thrown around on these uneven roads. I'm dropped back off at the house and go straight to bed. I sleep until 7:30. The others have gone to the UN bar, but I don't bother. I go over and see my buddy as he goes on holiday. We chat and catch up and I'm home before curfew, with a smile on my face, as to be honest, staying in the house all the time is beginning to annoy me. I'm the only one that can change this, but I love to run in the morning, so I sacrifice my evenings for rest rather than going to the bar for my exercise. Almost finished. G and my friend asked for a long one this time, so I'm getting there. I pack for tomorrow as I'm off to Kabul. Sweet dear me. I'm really excited about this, but also quite nervous. I may only be 26, but I'm not naive, as I've heard security briefings daily in the office, and Kabul is Kabul. I need to be clever as I'm flying, so I can't pack too much, which is just as well, as I don't have much. Off I go to sleep. That's it. So, I hope you can see me. This looks quite dark to me. So that's my story for this evening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to have a chat, any questions, go on ahead. It's a very, very vivid day in my mind. It was a beautiful scenery. It was really like a day off. It was in Afghanistan. There's one day, Friday, and I remember just lying. Maybe some of you may swim. Linda, you might swim. Frank, you might swim, and you lie back and you just float, and you almost feel as if you're on a cloud, and you know the sun's coming down, and you know you're not going to work, and because the work I did was quite stressful. I was busy. I'm humanitarian, and you work 6 days out of 7, you know, and it's hard going, and physically and mentally and emotionally, and it was just the sense of And then my friends talked about snakes, water snakes, which I have never actually looked up what they're like. Can they kill humans? I don't want to know. Even to this day, 45 years of age, and I've never actually checked out if water snakes are dangerous. It just freaked me out. And I just lost all sense of ability to swim. And you hear people talk about when you're in situations, it's either fight or flight. I just stopped. And it took about 5 minutes, which seemed like a lifetime for someone to notice me. And then my friend saw me. I just lost all colour. And I just couldn't move. I couldn't even tread water. And he just had to, he did almost, you know, what you do as a lifeguard. You know, he put his arm around me and he just swam me back. And then when I got out, I could kind of hear these noises. And I was like, oh my God, there's snakes. You know, but I think that maybe that's why I slept on the way back in the car. Because I was just panicking. So that's it. If it's really to tell a story live. I have been sharing stories earlier on this year. My daddy actually asked me to share more stories. I did an interview for a radio in Derry about the all-female Afghan orchestra, because I used to live and work in Afghanistan. Shared it with my dad, and he said, I'd like to hear some more stories. So I've got quite a few stories on my YouTube in a lapping, and I decided that it's nice to tell a story live, because then if you have any questions you can ask me, or you can just listen. So it's me, it's my lived experience, Yes, I know, Frank. Happy Halloween. I was considering, should I do it, should I not? But I did. You know me, I'm very thorough. And if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. I said, I agreed last month, even before I started, it's the last day of each month. So today is the last. It's actually my daddy's birthday tomorrow. So the boys, I had two vampires in the house today. They're both, one's asleep, one's not. Enough sweets to sink a ship. And I just thought, I'm going to do it. I've committed. So it's maybe 15 minutes, 30 minutes just to share a story and to have a chat. So yes, happy Halloween. Frank, did you get dressed up? Anybody? Nana, did you get dressed up? Laura, anybody get dressed up? I didn't this year. Not normally, I did last year. But it's been a different year this year. So the fireworks are going off all over the place, and we had sparklers outside the IC. My friend Dr. Muslim, my other Iraqi friend. It must be a good time. What time is it? Yeah. And Muslim, what time is it in Iraq at the minute? And Linda, you're based in London, I think. And Nana, I know you're based in London. Frank, you're at home with me, and Laura, you're at home with me as well. So it's Halloween. I don't have any spooky stories, don't have any Halloween related stories in my journals, but I'm getting close to leaving Afghanistan. That was June, and I left Afghanistan in, of course you did, but you gotta tell us, Frank, what you get dressed up as. Hi, Dr. Muslim. You have to tell us what you get dressed up as. You can't just tell me that you got dressed up and not tell me what you get dressed up as. So I leave Afghanistan in September. And no, I didn't dress up this year. And my nieces wanted to as well. But we will next year. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. We didn't leave the house. We had some sparklers from last year we didn't use. We went out the front and we sparked them up, and that was really it. So it was different. My sister put a poster outside her gate saying, sorry, no trick-or-treaters, but you can take a bag of sweets. So I think we've all been very creative. Water snakes were spooky. Yeah, are they spooky, Frank? I haven't looked. I haven't the heart to look. But imagine you're Buddhist, yeah, Frank, and you're very much, mindfulness, and you're lying and you're nice and relaxed and you're in the zone, and then someone mentions snakes, and you're kind of in the middle of the water. You're in a country that isn't yours. The water's dark. You can't see through it. You're fully clothed. And then you lose all sense of ability to get out of there. So I just want to give a little bit of a mixture of, sure, Una, Muslim, did you get dressed up? I wanted just to give a little bit of a mixture of the stories. So I'll talk about some stories of me working. I'll talk about that was my day off. I'll describe traveling. When I was in Afghanistan, I went to Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan an hour. I did the Silk Route. I went to Turkmenistan, had a swim in the Caspian Sea. So I have lots and lots of different stories, and I'm happy to share, and I'll talk to myself. It's just given me more confidence to tell stories. I'm a storyteller. I'm now dare I say it, a published author, and I'm also submitting a chapter for another book based on humanity and compassion, which is very much me. And then I'll have my own book. So it's just more practice because it's all about visibility. It's all about getting the message. Thank you very much, Frank. You know what? I'm very proud of myself too. Thank you. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. So yeah, it's good to talk. It's good to share. I talk with a purpose. I mentioned last month, TALK. T is to think of others. So there's a few people on here tonight from different countries. So I'm thinking of others. I'm appreciating what I've got. Everything I have. I'm learning about different cultures and different perspectives. I have learnt and I want to pass that on. And then K, know about the world. So TALK. That's why I tell stories, is to pass that on. Is to think, appreciate, learn, and know. And that's what I do every single day. So if there's no other questions and no other chat, that's me for another month. What I do mid-month is I share a story on YouTube, record it and I share it. What I've also started to do is share some poetry. So I'd like to, the ones of you who have been here, I'd like to ask you to do something. I've done quite a number of poems, compassion, humanity, a simple, keep up the great work. Thank you very much, Frank. Thank you very, very much. That means a lot. So I've written poems. I've one on happiness written. I released gratitude yesterday. I have passion, and I have one more. I can't remember it. Could one of yous or all of yous possibly pass me on if you'd like me to write a poem with a word that's at least 6 letters? If it's even numbers, it's better. Thanks, Una. We learned a lot too from you. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, the work is two-way. It's absolutely two-way. And Muslim, for my other friends, Muslim is my dear friend from Iraq. We worked in Baghdad together. Absolute gentleman. Oh, I'm back there now. Yeah. But anyway, every day is a learning day. If you don't learn something every day, I think go back and start again. So maybe 6 letters or 8 letters of a word, and challenge me or task me to write a poem. So I've been inspired myself, you know, as I say, passion, poem on breath. Okay, breathe, breath. I'm tired, breathe. Okay, I'll do that. 2, 4, 2, 4, 6, 7. Oh, Frank, there's 7 letters, but I'll do it. I'll do it. Okay. And I know Frank, for the others who don't know, Frank teaches mindfulness. And it's all about in the moment. And it's all about breathing. So I will do that for you, Frank. I will. So that's it for me for Saturday night. I'm in my comfies. It's Saturday night. It's Halloween. I'm actually doing a challenge next month in a group I'm in. It's for health and well-being, and I'm going off the little sweet treats that I sometimes would have. And yes, I'm a nutritionist, but you live once. My rule is 80-20, 80% of what's recommended and 20% of what you like. And Dr. Muslim, you'd probably agree. So I'm going off sweets and chocolates, so I might have a little snack now after this. So I'll write your poem, Frank. Give me a couple of days. I'll share it, because I need to feel the word as well. So it's really weird. Does anybody else write poetry? Because it just kind of came from nowhere. I mean, I love to write, and can I just say, this is first draft. So you don't write a book first time. I don't know how many drafts. So that's my first draft. Interestingly, the chapter for this, I wrote once and then changed it. It just kind of flowed. It's a very personal story, as will be my diaries. So it's what it's like, what life was like, going to work, going to the market, learning from everybody. I mean, I'm an Irish proud lady, proud lady. And I learned so much. I learned so much off all my friends that I have for life in all the countries I lived in. All the countries became my home. Yaya and Muslim are both from Iraq. I was in Iraq twice, for a year and a half on and off. Became my home. I felt safe and secure. I was looked after. I was so different, but yet the same. I was just treated like their sister. I'm going to stop the conversation because I am going to get upset if I start talking about it, because they're watching me. So that's it. If you want any of the poems written, ask. Hope you enjoyed that story. Jane wasn't able to make this evening, but she asked for a long one. So it's just a story. Not just a story, it's a story of a different life that I had. And then sometimes a discussion. So we've chatted about a couple of things. Thanks for the poem. And until next month, which is the end of November, I think there's 30 days. So yeah, and just to put this in, because the lady, just 1 minute before I go, Frank, Oslan, maybe you have to go. Bye, Frank. There's a lady, Suzanne, has asked me. I was, my son was interviewing me, Zane, it was a question time in me, and he was thinking of the questions. And my friend, Suzanne, asked me some questions which were very much around the differences between girls and boys in games and school and treatment within the countries. And I'm reaching out to one of my Afghan sisters to hopefully come on. It might be a recording because she's 4 hours ahead of me and she only has a tight window to come on camera. So it could be live at like 5 o'clock in the morning. Well, Frank, you may be up doing your mindfulness, but it doesn't feel that I can answer them, because that's not my culture, it's not my religion, it's not my country. And that's what I really am very passionate about. I can speak for myself and only me. These are my experiences, my artifacts, my pictures, my stories. But I'm Irish, I'm not Afghan, I'm not Iraqi, I'm not Nigerian, I'm not Congolese, etc, etc, etc. So when I get a particular question like that, I respect the question and I respect the cultures and the different nationalities, and I will ask my friends to answer those for me. So maybe Yaya, you did say you're happy to help, and Dr. Muslim, I know you're busy with your students, with work, so maybe I'll reach out to my brothers as well, just to answer the questions. Do you know what I mean? It's just, I can't really answer that question, because I didn't go into the schools in Afghanistan or Iraq. And I know there are differences with the girls and the boys, but it's just, I want to portray the correct message, respectfully and culturally. And that's me. Una our Lapan, it's Una Rose Lapan, but it's Una Respect Lapan. I respect everybody. I see the person. I look beyond everything and I see the person. So, thank you, Muslim, Dr. Muslim. So that's me. It's almost 9:30, short and sweet. So let me know if you enjoyed it. Brilliant. I have my next poem. I might write it tonight, and maybe I'll come on, Frank, and come on live and dedicate it to you whenever it's done. Okay, listen, thank you so much, Dr. Muslim, Frank, Nana, Laurie, my uncle Tony, TK, for coming on. I hope I haven't missed anybody. I'm just going to go through. Linda, thank you so much for coming on. Let me see. Yeah, I think I've got everybody. Mithak, thank you very much. Another brother from Iraq. It's wonderful. Oh, it just makes my heart warm. It's so wonderful. Right, guys, that's me for another month, and you'll see me online. I'm sharing more stuff. I'm enjoying it. It's all about learning. So let's keep learning and keep loving. Hi, Steve. Hi, Suzanne. Hi, Emma. Ladies, I've just finished. I'm glad you enjoyed the story, Nana. My story, ladies, was about going to a lake, a tranquil lake, for a picnic. Thank you, Laurie, for a picnic. When I first swim, and then someone talking about water snakes, helicopters, and Giardia in the water. And hi, Martina. And I freaked out. Maybe is 9:30 better? This is for us, for you. If you want me to change the time to 9:30, no problem. I know people are busy. I know it's Halloween. So send me a message, or because I'd like you all to hear the story. It's recorded and it's live, and it will be. So yeah. So that's me. I'm gonna go off and have a cup of tea and a bit of chocolate, because I'm going off it for November for a challenge and raising more money for Concern. I'm actually doing the 24-hour fast on the 19th of November, to raise more money, and still waiting for the money to close off in December for the ration challenge I did with Laurie from Join Her, and Barbara, and oh my God, Daryl as well. So you can catch it up, ladies, and that's me. And good morning, Suzanne in Australia. Nice to see you. As I say, if you want to push back to 9:30, that's okay. I think 10 is just a wee bit too late. It depends what day it is. I think the end of November is a Monday, school night. This happened to fall on a Saturday, so it's different days. But it's just, I'm sitting in my living room, I'm reading a story and having a chat about it and connecting. That's what I've really missed, connecting. My parents called in tonight. They were both dressed up. My daddy's 77 tomorrow. And they're both dressed up. and we couldn't even embrace. And you know, I'm missing that, and I know there's a massive lockdown stay in, as I called it, over in England for the next month, and will we get it? We don't know. So this to me is connecting with my friends all over the world and telling a story, as us Irish love to do. So hope you enjoyed it. Let me know how you thought of the story was, and catch up if you didn't catch it this time around, but it's in this group. And thanks so much for being in this group. It's our group. It's for you. It's linked to my business, but it's for you. As I said, TALK. Think of others. Appreciate all you've got. Learn new cultures and perspectives, and know more about the world. So I hope from that story you have done all of those, or maybe some of them. So enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks for coming on. I really, really appreciate the support. And it's bye from me. All the best. Night night.